Yes, I'm serious, and don't call me Shirley. DC cuts ties with Diamond Comics distributors. Now, you might be saying, didn't they do that a month ago? They said they were going to part ways and go with other distributors. Yes, they did. But I guess the difference is that nobody really believed it was going to be a long-term kind of thing. They thought that DC was, they didn't know how long that Diamond was going to be out of the picture. And so, they wanted to make sure they were prepared for the future. Well, turns out when your company is solely responsible for the comic book industry being halted completely, that puts a bad taste in many people's mouths. And it turns out there are actually competitors. If you don't want to say that you have a monopoly, then indeed there will be competitors that step up and are going to do your job for you. So DC Comics is leaving. This is in the Hollywood Reporter. I always think it's interesting as news gets out to other news outlets that aren't, specifically into comic books. It's just nice to see, I guess, what normies are seeing of what is the comic book industry. All right, so the publisher will no longer distribute through the industry leader in comics distribution. Industry leader is also a term for monopoly. In a seismic shift for the comic book industry, DC has cut ties with Diamond comic distributors. The announcement was made via an email to retailers sent Friday morning, that's today, with the company telling customers that all orders for DC product will be fulfilled by Lunar Distribution and UCS comic distributors for periodical releases and Penguin Random House for graphic novels and collected editions. All right, so what they've done here is they've actually put their eggs in several baskets. These are a couple different distributors, and actually you could even say three. I'm not sure that the relationship between Penguin Random House and any of these distributors, maybe there is, maybe there's not, but something to take note of. And that's for graphic novels, which is, I guess, a little different anyway. But for periodicals, which are floppy, regular comics, they're not going with Diamond. Not even Diamond as one of their choices. No Diamond at all. All right, an email was sent to retailers that explained, we recognize that to many of you, this may seem like a momentous decision. However, we can assure you that this change in DC's distribution plans has not been made lightly and follows a long period of thought and consideration. The change of direction is in line with DC's overall strategic vision intended to improve the health of and strength of the direct market, as well as grow the number of fans who read comics worldwide. I personally think this is a good move. I'm interested, and I could have probably looked to see what people are saying on Twitter, comic book professionals. I imagine there's going to be a lot of upset people because Diamond does a really good job of making you believe that they're a mom and pop kind of shop thing. They're there for the retailers. They're they're the establishment that everyone should rally behind. But as I've said before in countless videos, I don't think that they're the right people to be the leader for the comic book industry. It just doesn't make a lot of sense for a distributor that has monopoly, which is the basis of their success, be running things. Everyone complains about Diamond until Diamond shut down, and then all of a sudden everyone is clamoring to basically kiss their butt. It doesn't make sense to me. All right, so the message continued. In the near term, Diamond will only be fulfilling orders placed through June 1st, final order cutoffs, and will not solicit the sale of new DC titles further. To ensure a smooth transition for retailers, DC will suspend final order cutoff for June 8th, making those books available to order on final cut order, yada, yada, yada. All right, so here's the thing. I've got to wonder, too, if these other distributors are accepting submissions or whatever from other publishers. Are there other publishers that could get in there and get a deal here? Or is it a DC exclusive kind of thing? This opens the floodgate, and I believe in the same article they say this DC Comics represents a good 30% of Diamond's revenue. Imagine that for a minute. Coming off the heels of a global pandemic, economic recession, things have been rough for a lot of people, and at the same time you have DC Comics leaving Diamond as their They're coming back. 30% of their revenue is now gone, going elsewhere. It really is kind of amazing. Let's see here. As a spokesperson from DC told the Hollywood Reporter, after 25 years, DC and Diamond comic distributors are ending their long-standing relationship. Moving forward, comic book retailers can obtain their DC books from Penguin Random House or their, for Lunar or UCS. Sorry, this just seems redundant. DC periodical products had until earlier this year been exclusively distributed through Diamond Comics. We knew that. And so on. That's the end of the article. All right, so big news. Big news that again we've been talking about this for a month or two. We knew that this was coming. The amazing thing is though that nobody actually believes that change in the industry will happen, and I don't know why, because the comic industry has changed over time many times. The whole direct market as it exists today did not exist before. It was a massive change in the industry. It makes sense for there to be another massive change. And if DC is really serious about getting new readers into comics, and I hope they are, like they said in their letter, I wonder how distributors could help with that. That might be getting comics in places besides just through local comic book shops. It might be a distributors that put some effort into marketing and try actively to get new retailers to be selling their product because they know that they're competing for those retailers. It could be a number of things, honestly. But overall, I see this as a positive thing. I will be shocked. I guarantee there are going to be people that will be very upset, but I would be shocked to see how many people are upset over this. How many people have been complaining about Diamond for years, and now all of a sudden they feel like DC has betrayed comic book shops for this. Yes, comic book shops are going to have to tie into other distributors so that they can get DC Comics. But really, if you look at the big picture, if they're selling anything other than comic books, they probably already have accounts with other distributors anyway. As far as I know, Diamond does not do Magic the Gathering or Pokemon cards, any trading card games. I think they do Funko Pops. But really, if you're selling anything else, there's a variety of distributors that are going to be providing those to shops anyway. So I don't see this as actually a big change. In fact, it might be a welcome change. With all of the complaints that come out of Diamond, I mean, why not? Why not shake things up? They can always go back, I guess, if they want to, if Diamond's still there. But honestly, I think this is going to be such a big blow to Diamond. They're going to have to massively adjust, and I think other publishers are also going to have to massively adjust to meet this change. It's going to be a big hit for Diamond. So thanks very much for watching. Really appreciate everybody for watching the channel, all your support. You make my comic books possible, and I really appreciate that. Thanks very much, and I will see you next time.